There's no nice way of putting this, so I'll just be straight with you. Xbox is dead. And this is not really happy news. The more competition in the market, even though we all love Steam, obviously, is a better. And do you know what's the craziest part about that statement by me? It's not even a hot opinion any longer. Most people will easily agree that the Xbox is past its prime. Xbox has nothing to offer. And Xbox definitely, absolutely has no future. Everything they have done in the past 5 to 10 years has turned out horribly. Everything that they plan in the future most likely will also be horrible because, let's face it, if you are paying attention, you know that Xbox has absolutely no plans except implementing AI into your gaming, because obviously everyone wants that. Everyone's a real fan of that one. Oh boy, I can't wait for that personally. Ho ho ho. Yes. No, obviously no one wants that. And that's the situation. Everyone knows that Xbox is pretty much out at this point. And it's a sad thing. More competition, more options, it's always better for us. So, I'm not exactly happy about this, but it is reality that we need to face.
Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. As always, with the Mr. Maddie experience, we like to call balls and strikes here. And I got to be honest, as Microsoft has been stepping up in the batter's box, they've been hitting kind of nice as of lately. Now, the reason I like to make these types of videos is two things. One, there's a lot of videos of me kicking the crap out of Xbox, and I think they know what ticks Maddie off. I want to make sure they also know what makes Maddie quite happy, and that's what we're seeing lately. Number two is investigating the why of it all. Why did Xbox and also Windows start to flip a switch here and start giving people what they want? What was the barrier here? Was it Phil and Sarah?
I'm sorry, but what exactly is Xbox giving us? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what Xbox is currently giving us that's actually so good that everyone wants? I'm not aware personally.
Was it because Microsoft was all in on AI and it looks like that bubble is slowly yet surely bursting and that investment might not be as worth it as they thought? There's a multitude of things we can dive into today, but what I want to line up is a lot of the decisions Xbox has been making, what I've liked to see, why I've liked to see it, and how I hope they keep it up, but also getting into the why of it all. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into what's going on with Xbox, let's hope there's not a rake in sight for them to step on, but consider subscribing in case they do. Now, Asha Sharma was brought in because of her talent for user acquisition. That is what was already said in various reports when Xbox...
I'm sorry, what? We went through her work history. She honestly seems more like a plant than anything else. She literally, in the span of roughly 5 years, got from nobody to CEO of Microsoft Gaming out of nowhere. And she didn't even work in any meaningful positions. I mean, she did have leadership positions in stuff that you don't like. Like, the Windows Vision or whatever it's called, the thing that downloads your computer, puts it up on the cloud, and then without asking permission deletes it, so all of your files just magically disappear. Yeah, she oversaw that and similar things to that. Microsoft Copilot, there we go. She has absolutely not even the slightest bit of skill in user acquisition. She doesn't even have any skill in gaming. Her profiles were fake. Her Xbox account literally got made a week before she became the CEO of gaming. Her responses to people on Twitter were presumably AI. What are we talking about here?
leadership had changed. But much like Phil, when he came in after Don Matrick, there's a lot of easy W's that you can take that cleans up a lot of what is the bullshit here, and Asha is doing just as much too. There are things I want to take a look at that I think will more so define the Asha Sharma tenure, and as we get further and further from Phil and Sarah...
She hasn't even had the job for 2 months. Why are we talking about the tenure? Has she already sent out paychecks? Because it looks like it.
Which they just left very recently, and into things like year 2 of Xbox with Asha Sharma, we'll start to be able to pin more and more...
It hasn't been a year 1. It hasn't been a year 1.
...or decisions onto her versus some that, in all fairness, could have been inherited from a past leadership group. There are decisions that she has to make with things like Game Pass that I'll be curious to see what direction she goes in. Right now, the report is that she wants to make Game Pass more affordable, and IGN...
By who? This is a lie.
...writes, based off a report from The Information, who spoke to multiple individuals themselves about Game Pass, the claim is that she wants to make future consoles and products like Game Pass more enticing to a broader range of customers, an effort which may include revamping pricing models to offer lower tiered prices.
And there we go. As always, IGN will find ways to lie to us. This has nothing to do with Xbox becoming lower in price. This is just a revamp, which means you're just gonna get new shitty tiers of, oh, do you want to join the Xbox family, Chud? Well, how about you pay €5, like the old Game Pass or something like that, and you have 3 free games a month for your Xbox. You know, it's just things like this. Prices are never going to go down. They're going to only go up and keep only going up.
She's also reportedly looking into partnerships with other companies such as Netflix, with Greg Peters, the Netflix CEO, saying he's met with Asha Sharma several times and they've kicked around ideas for subscription bundle partnerships. I say this will be a real test for Asha because Phil kind of went in the same direction, like, let's make the fans happy. They made a very value-driven system at Xbox, and so value-driven that it was like their slogan for ages. There were jokes about how affordable Game Pass was. Despite that, though, it didn't grow as explosively as Xbox wanted, and I give them credit for...
Okay, this is also slightly confusing. So, Asha Sharma, from whatever this was, reportedly, is trying to do this neat little thing that in business is called user acquisition. Or, you know, just growing the brand, growing your customer base. Which is something that every single big company does, even small companies do it, by the way. Ever wondered why the new big supermarket chain that opened up near you for the first month was good and after it was just as garbage as the rest of them? User acquisition. They want to get you through the door. After you're through the door and you know that this thing exists, they're just going to become as bad as the rest of them. Because now they're an option to you, and they know what actually drives you. That's probably discounts. So they don't have to be good because they already got you. You know they exist. And now they just need to be as bad as the other ones, and hopefully you just roll the dice and land on them. Xbox already has done this, though. The good old days of Game Pass being $5 or something like that. You know, when it was almost actually value. Because keep in mind, even when Game Pass was $5 or something like that, if you used Game Pass for 5 years, you actually still lost. Because every subscription service, every rental thing, no matter how low the price, if you use it long enough, you have lost value. That's how it works. So even if you have Xbox Game Pass and it costs $5 a month, in 5 years you have still lost value. That's how these things work.
As Xbox wanted, and I give them credit for how value-driven it was. I think of the Xbox All Access program combined with Game Pass and the no-interest offers they had, and you could leave a Best Buy with a Series S and a year of Game Pass for like $45 and pay that all off in a handful of months. Like, it was a great deal. It kind of put itself in a value area of like, why wouldn't you have this? But yet, millions upon millions of people just weren't interested because of subscription fatigue, because they don't play that many games. And Game Pass was more appealing to the hardcore. Or, of course, there was the Game Pass hack of just signing up for a month, getting your game, refunding and unsubscribing, and that was it. And finally, it looks like Xbox has started to filter that aspect out, which is a loss for consumers, but for them is a big gain. I'll be curious to see how she handles things like this, because ultimately this will be a big test, because she's going right to the race to the bottom potentially that Phil went to. And I don't know, maybe your answer differs, but for me, as someone who unsubscribed from Game Pass in the middle of last year, I don't look at them bundling up with Netflix and go, yeah, I'm in. You got it. Because keep in mind, there were perks that were offered as part of Game Pass, like, hey, sign up to Game Pass and you get 3 months of Crunchyroll for free. Like, I know that's not a deal breaker for people, but they've done these bundles in the past. And so the rumor is that they are looking at an ad-based tier, and that terrifies me. And this is why I don't want to, with all of the W's that are going around.
Yeah, all of them are doing ad-based tier things. This is literally the meme that's slowly coming through. Television became irrelevant because of Netflix and whatnot. Well, congratulations. Now Netflix is as bad as television, and television has less ads now than Netflix.
Immediately give Asha Sharma the crown. She's got to still earn it in its early days. That said, there have been decisions that we can thank her for, and one is such an obvious one, such an easy win, but dude, I despised the "this is an Xbox" marketing campaign, and I don't think I'm alone on that one. Well, now if you go to Xbox Wire, where they made the announcement of it, well, it's gone now. It's gone, and this was done quietly, but Windows Central actually went to Xbox and asked them, hey, what happened here? And the response was, Asha retired. This is an Xbox because it didn't feel like Xbox. She is personally leading a reset of how we show up as a brand. And yeah, like, really easy win.
Okay, listen, removing something that was completely trash and no one liked is not necessarily a win, considering we have absolutely no clue what she's gonna replace it with. And judging from her background, and I mean, I have listened to her actually give a speech on something, and my god. Like, go to videos of Asha Sharma speaking about anything, AI, even. Probably AI, honestly, that's the funniest one. From, like, a year or 2 or 3 back. Because she actually has attended a decent sum of podcasts, as it turns out. And this is before anyone knew who she was. This is before she was even on Copilot and was talking about AI. Videos that are 3 years old. People are commenting, what the hell is this woman talking about? She is making absolutely no sense. They're not just randomly hating on her. She's literally appearing on podcasts, even 3 years ago, not saying anything of value, just buzzwords. And that's it. And people even then called her out, and they did not know who she was. And, well, nothing has changed. That's the funny part about this.
Does it change the fate of the generation? No. But does avoiding disrespecting your customers on the regular help a lot? Absolutely. Does making your brand less of a meme help a lot? Absolutely. Does focusing on the core fan help a lot? Absolutely, for the third time now. What we talked about with Xbox was originally a death of 1,000 cuts, right? They just make these little mistakes here and there. Oh, if they only just got the games in order, if only they just had higher quality, if only they did this, if only they did that, and it just kept adding up. Well, it can work in the reverse a little bit too. Again, not changing the fate of the generation, but at least making someone feel okay that they bought an Xbox at the beginning of this generation. So if you think of it like death of 1,000 cuts, my co-host,
I mean, that's going to be pretty hard to do, honestly.
Lord Cognito of Defining Duke, put it as like life of 1,000 cuts, if you want to call it that. But it's well said, because things like back compat continue to arise. Now, we learned at GDC this year that Xbox was looking into backwards compatibility. More so, it sounded like they were looking to bring that experience.
There is no world where they do backwards compatibility. We already went over this. This is a massive issue for Xbox and PlayStation, and literally any single console handheld generation that has an upgraded version that costs more money. When a new version comes out, you need to remove all value, everything good about the previous generation, or you're never gonna make people switch. So, backwards compatibility is never happening in reality. Maybe they're gonna make backwards compatible Tetris. I don't know. Maybe something like that, just to appease the low IQs.
over to PC, which I think would be a huge win because, dude, Lost Odyssey on PC, come on now, all right? That's a massive W. But I also have argued that I don't think it makes sense for Xbox to make a big deal out of something like that. While it is a win, I think the big deal, which gets it a lot of noise, is adding more games to the library. As I've tracked over the last couple of years, you've seen a series of Activision games just appear as licensed products like, you know, your Transformers, your Ninja Turtle games, that sort of stuff have popped up onto the market and have quickly been delisted. I've always said that if Xbox had one more back compat dump in them, it would be thanks to the Activision partnership. But it may go beyond that because some users on Twitter spotted here there are games like I Just Wing, Prince of Persia Sands of Time, Mars War Logs, all being listed with prices quickly delisted and mentioned as unannounced, as if there is an announcement that is going to be made. As I've said multiple times, there's just enough noise around back compat and these various titles cropping up over the years that I think this back compat team has been working for a while now, getting a library edition together. My question is how large that edition will be. And obviously, my hope is eventually Xbox does what PlayStation did. PlayStation has emulation where you can play your PS2 games, select PSP games, and you can get trophies for these games. They make dedicated trophy lists for them. Even for someone like me, who is a huge Sly Cooper fan, when they re-released Sly 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation Network, they gave them new trophy lists, which was really exciting because the trophy list for the Sly Cooper collection on PS3 was piss easy, dude. They just made it way too easy. But then they actually made like Sly 1's Platinum difficult and like you had to engage with all the different content. I thought that was awesome. And I'd love to see Xbox start adding achievements to classic games. And it seems like there's hope for that idea as well. Keyword on hope, right? We don't have the execution on it yet, but Xbox is opening the door on key areas like back compat and now achievements, which we talked about pretty extensively on Maddie Slop, where you can see here that Asha Sharma writes, we stood up a dedicated team to focus on fan feedback, which by the way, isn't the first time we've heard this before. We heard the past leadership group
Probably AI?
had a fan feedback team, but it looks like at least this fan feedback team is quite on top of things because finally Xbox is doing achievement updates and they say that there's more coming soon. We'll dive into that in a moment, but I'm really focused on the more coming soon aspect here because what we've got in this achievement update is a visual refresh, which looks pretty cool. Custom colors, a little bit of difference in the icons. You can hide games from your achievement list, so if you just want to like delete one.
You see, this... Guys, the achievement pop-up got a slight tone up, okay? Yes, it looks different now. Oh my god, Xbox, listen, really, is that it? Is that the level we're at? That's just sad.
One that, hey, I got 0% on this one. I tried it out on Game Pass and I don't want it in my library anymore. You can just uncheck that, or you can highlight the games that you've completed 100% of the achievements for. So kind of pinning them to your profile. Like, again, proud achievements. Finally evolving the system that Xbox introduced all that time ago, PlayStation borrowed and just ate their lunch with, to the point where there's a trophy hunting engagement beast community out there where like people love to watch folks hunt for the platinum trophy. Xbox obviously needs their own platinum trophy. That was like
but doesn't Xbox have the same thing? Isn't that just called 100%ing a game? I mean, wow.
Priority number one. It looks like the door's open on that, but I hope, as they mentioned here at the bottom, this is a small but meaningful step in a broader set of improvements we're making to achievements. We're continuing to explore.
Now, granted, PlayStation did win big here because platinuming a game does sound cool.
New ways to recognize completion and milestone moments over time, and this update is one of our first steps towards celebrating those moments. Again, no guarantee on how they exactly plan to do this. It could be they finally do their platinum equivalent and it's incredibly underwhelming. That's why I don't like to get carried away with this stuff, but I like that Xbox is finally cracking open the door on the easy W's. It's like, guys, just take the wins. They're right there. I know they're not going to change the fate of the generation for you. I know you're not going to start outselling PlayStation, but make your platform compelling and then start building the best software.
By the way, considering projects like this typically take big companies like Xbox a half a year to actually do because of the bureaucracy and whatnot, this is probably not even Asha Sharma's idea or vision or anything. She probably has nothing to do with this. First of all, wow. You think someone who has literally probably never really played a video game in her life actually cares about an achievement? No.
software from there, it might actually work. I know, crazy idea, but I hope if they're listening, man, classic achievements would be such a huge W, but also just a platinum trophy equivalent. Or hey, given that you guys invented achievements and PlayStation took trophies and they did their own things like pinning trophies, tracking trophies with guides, that sort of stuff, putting them on your dashboard. If Xbox could then take those ideas and evolve them in their own ecosystem, maybe going beyond the platinum trophy, like having a platinum and then something else, that would be really awesome. So I'd like to see how they tackle achievements in the future. And this goes into things like console features, which Xbox has been regularly updating. We literally have an Xbox engineer just asking, what would you guys want to have added on Twitter, which I thought was kind of cool. But this is important to note because the Xbox Ally is the most expensive beta test in gaming right now. You can pay $1,000 and get in and feel basically what Xbox is going to be doing for Helix. That's because the Xbox full screen experience, as written here on the Xbox Wire post, is being brought to Windows 11 PC. And so they're starting to expand the testing grounds more and more. So if you're watching the Xbox Ally like I do, I'm not the biggest Xbox Ally user. I prefer my Steam Deck right now, and I do want a dedicated Xbox handheld. But the Xbox Ally, when I used it, and as someone who did get it for free as part of their review, like, it did not impress me. Again, I showed in the video, I was like, what are all these apps loaded on here, dude? I had a calculator on my Xbox gaming device. Since that launch, though, in fairness, Xbox has progressively updated the Xbox Ally, where games are running better, getting more efficient battery life out of certain products, but also you'll see even a recent round of updates, they've improved removable storage formatting support.
Again, I don't think this is in line for Asha Sharma. Okay, did he get paid? That's a serious question. Like, none of this seems good, valuable news, and none of this seems like it was actually Asha Sharma's work or anything like that. So Xbox has nothing. Okay, even if you. Like, it doesn't matter if it's her actual, like, this is her or not her. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day because, let's be honest, does any of this actually reconvince you to use Xbox? No. Does any of this sound like a game changer for you? No. Does any of this sound decent or nice? Yeah, kinda. It's okay. I mean, they're improving stuff. But I mean, other companies improve stuff also, but they don't want you to give them a golden medal for it. But Xbox seemingly kinda does. I guess it makes sense when you're the company that bought Microsoft, not Microsoft, but Blizzard and Bethesda for almost 100 billion, well, 90 billion. But that's still too much. I mean, you paid for nothing, my dude. So, does any of this even actually matter? It doesn't seem like it. Our commitment to Windows oh, great, yeah, Windows. Please don't commit to Windows. I'm so tired. I complain about this pretty often at this point. Since the takeover of you know what, Windows has been a shit show. Like, we're getting a worse quality everything. First of all, obviously. And for YouTube, I mean, not a day goes by when YouTube works properly at this point. We have new bugs that have never existed. Actually, let me check. Can I click on the... No, I still can't. Look. Look. I'm trying to click. You see, I can't start the video from zero. I can't start the video from zero because the mouse... Oh, I can't see the mouse. See? It disappears. When I go close to the edge, it disappears. So, look at this. I try to start the video from zero. I can't. I am 100% sure I am not the only one pissed about this. This is what we're talking about, the improved quality of Windows, improved quality of everything. Microsoft is lowering the quality of everything at such a dramatic rate. And I mean, if you think that Asha Sharma is going to make a difference, then yeah, she is, but not in the positive way, probably. What other headlines do we have here? Oh, more taskbar customization. Oh, yeah, because I definitely want that. Including vertical and top positions. Integrating, there you go, integrating AI, because of course, AI is the future, don't you know, Chud? Futurism, yeah, there we go, the futurism. Almost half of US data centers that were supposed to open this year stated to be cancelled or delay based. I kind of know that. A leaked cloud code source spawns faster growing reposting in GitHub history. Don't know what any of those words mean. Windows 11, the shit show. Wow. Yeah, definitely. Can I buy Windows XP? Can we go back to the times of Windows XP when Microsoft didn't hire people who never used the computer to design fucking UI? Can we go back to that time, please? I mean, it was the best time, admit it. Reducing this disruption from Windows updates. Are we talking? By the way, these fucking idiots. This happened a month ago or something, but they made it that Windows updates forcefully restart your PC and start without asking. I think they start without asking anyway, but previously at least they were like, okay, when you're done with your session, buddy, then we're gonna restart your computer and it's gonna be great. And a month or something ago, there was like 2 weeks where I'm literally sitting here gaming or gooning, let's be real. And my computer just suddenly shuts off and starts updating. I'm like, what? They literally did that. Yeah, so I mean, you could fix the disruption from Windows updates by reverting the changes. Faster and more dependent file explorer. That would be good considering it's really slow, honestly. If you have any folders with a lot of files in them, it is actually pretty fucking slow. And what else? Probably nothing? Probably nothing? Hopefully nothing. God, am I the only one who's wishing currently that Xbox just doesn't update their stuff anymore, so at least we can live in a less futuristic hellscape? I kind of really do. I kind of really do. Anyway, that was Mr. Matty Plays. Then bye.